In this video, I will train an AI to safely drive home after a whole night of drinking milk at the bar, hopefully without running anyone over on his way back. But there is even more. In the second half of the video, I've made a battle kart arena and trained 4 different agents to fight each other. So make sure to watch this video till the end to find out who won the battle. Like any good developer, I started by importing someone else's work, the karting pack from Unity Asset Store. You might find it familiar because of the AI Learns to Drift video, where I trained Chickles to be the king of the roads. This asset pack has a very well simulated kart system which I wanna use, and after tweaking it for a little bit, I got it working with my own scripts, allowing me to further modify it according to my dirty needs. Next, I made this temporary yet awesome explosion effect, and by made I of course mean bought it from the asset store, lol. It looks dope, but combined with another effect, it is even better. I used this for the death explosion of the kart. However, I also made some damage effects, which will change based on the amount of damage received. In total, we have 5 tiers of damage effects. Tier 0 has some small sparks, and that's it. It's tier 0, what we're expecting. Tier 1 is completely different. Yep, it's just more sparks. Tier 2, on the other hand, already has some smoke going on, and Tier 3 has some visible fire as well to emphasize the huge damage. And lastly, Tier 4 is this black dense smoke with fire, which can't mean anything good. It took some time to get the damage formula working, which was mainly needed for the kart battle at the end and not for drunk driving, but basically the idea is following. The damage a car will receive will be based on 2 variables, relative velocity and impact direction. Relative velocity is quite self-explanatory, that is the velocity of our agent relative to the velocity of the collider. Basically, if 2 karts are driving in the same direction, the impact force is smaller, and if karts are heading towards each other, the velocities are summed and the impact force is bigger. I know, that is already quite high-level physics, but there is even more. Impact direction is the second variable that affects received damage, and it will have a value of 0 when the impact point is right in front of the kart, and a value of 1 when the kart got hit in the rear. This means that when you hit something with the front of the kart, you will barely get any damage, while when damaged from the sides or especially back, the damage will be much more significant, enforcing agents to aim smart at the weak points of their enemies. Speaking about the agent, it was time to bring in our laboratory rat named Chickles. He does a fairly good job when it comes to surviving in wilderness on ham and water, but can he complete this challenge as well? Immediately after importing the model, I got to work on the most important feature, head jiggle. This time I had some difficulties making Chickles' head jiggle based on kart's motion. It worked, but the directions were mirrored. After changing some values in the code, I managed to fix it, and now our dude has proper physics on his huge coconut. But that only got me excited. About physics stuff. So I decided to add a flying ragdoll once a kart explodes, and voila! You can't tell me it doesn't look awesome. Oh, I also made a dope-ass spawning system that took me about half a day, and it even works! I know, that is impressive. The system will dynamically adjust its spawn range based on the terrain size, will check for colliders before spawning, so that no overlaps occur and no 2 objects are spawned too close. This and so much more. Despite the time spent, it was totally worth it, and it's not just me trying to convince myself in that. I used it to spawn the karts, the pedestrians, the goal, but also to spawn all the agents for the fighting part, which will be at the end of this video. Alright, next thing I implemented was a boost system. Agents can boost themselves, increasing their acceleration, hence damage, by a significant margin, while consuming their nitro. Lastly, I implemented some UI elements, and that actually helped me detect quite a big flaw of the ML Agents package that I've been suspecting for quite some time now. Or maybe not a flaw, but I'm too dumb to understand the reasoning behind it. You see, I first implemented stuff like health and nitro bars, skill and death score, round number, and I have implemented a timer. Honestly, I don't know why I decided I need a timer, but I did it anyways. And when training, I've noticed that despite having a timescale of 1, the timer was actually moving much slower than expected. It would take around 4 real-life seconds for 1 timer seconds to change. I always noticed that when training, the time in the game seemed to become slower, but I didn't think too much of it because I don't like thinking. But I tried solving it by playing with the time scale and fixed delta time values. It ended up with a weird bug where the carts would jump up and down, which was fun but not really what I was trying to achieve. After a few hours of digging, I finally found the solution. All you have to do is set the capture frame rate parameter to 0 from the command line when starting the training. Now this weird voodoo magic is no more and time moves correctly. Yay! Enough talking. I think it's finally time to see how the training went. I was training 31 agents in parallel, with 1 game second being equal to 1 real life second. First, the agent will have to learn the basics in this oversimplified scenario, where the only task is to get from a random spawn point to the goal, which also spawns randomly. The agents can detect obstacles as well as the goal using raycasts, and will have to learn through punishments and rewards how to reach it in the shortest amount of time. Whenever our dum-dum reaches the goal, the episode restarts, giving Chickles a significant reward. However, if he doesn't manage to complete the level before time runs out, or if he collides with an obstacle such as a pedestrian or wall, he gets punished. Moreover, since drunk driving is bad, Chickles will get the infamous existence punishment. For every second he is alive, Chickles will get punished by a little amount, making his drunk driving experience a misery. Besides a life lesson that drunk driving is bad, this will also help the agent learn faster, since it will be motivating to complete the level as quick as possible, so the existence punishment doesn't get too big. There's also a chance that he gets depressed and tries to Sudoku himself as fast as possible into the wall, but we don't talk about that here. As already mentioned, the first training level will teach Chickles the basics. There are no pedestrians yet, only the goal. First 10 rounds or so, Chickles confidently smashed his cart into the wall, investigating the map with his face, but then at round 12, he actually managed to drive by accident right into the goal. Experiencing a reward for the first time must have felt as good as sitting on your own toilet, because next round he was very motivated to reach the goal once again. With every round, Chickles understood a little more about the simulation he's in. About 1 hour of training later, and he already felt quite comfortable reaching the goal every time without big difficulties. But we're not here to watch an AI feel comfortable. Pressure makes diamonds, so I added 5 pedestrians that will spawn randomly to make Chickles' life more frustrating. Use the cylinder model during the training for optimization reasons, otherwise my PC could not maintain a stable frame rate. Hitting a pedestrian will be similar as hitting the wall, punishing the agent and ending the round. Honestly, I expected it to be a bigger challenge for Chickles, but after driving some of them over, he seemed to navigate quite easily to the goal. Alright, let's add some more pedestrians. 15 to be exact. This time it should make our AI consider his actions a little more. Chickles seems to understand that it is really bad to hit pedestrians, so he is being pretty careful, avoiding them with precision and accuracy. Well, almost. Our lab rat seems to have problems reaching the goal when it is somewhere behind him. We will see if he manages to overcome that flow, but overall he trained for about 3 more hours with 15 pedestrians until it was time for the final stage of this training. 50 pedestrians will be scattered across the map, and Chickles will have to avoid them and reach the goal as fast as possible. This was the final training level, so I let it run for quite some time, and finally, after more than 300,000 rounds and over 20 hours of training, here is the final result. Chickles will have to drive from this pub named Cafe, which is definitely a pub and not a coffee place, right to his house. First, let's try just the track, without any pedestrians. With ease, Chickles turns around and reaches his house in just 5 seconds. But that was to be expected, right? So let's add a few pedestrians. Chickles was not intimidated by this at all, and after running over 3 of them, he arrived at the destination in just 6 seconds, pedestrians being able to slow him down by just a second. Added even more I meant pedestrians, and it made Chickles mad. After driving over one of them and smoothly passing between 2 other pedestrians, Chickles goes on a crazy rampage. I mean, come on, he could easily pass through the gap he himself created and get home in peace, but nope. At this point, he's doing it on purpose and reaches home after 13 seconds and 12, well, pedestrians. Alright, now let's turn the number of pedestrians to the maximum. Chickles just said fuck it and turned the lawn mowing mode on without even trying to avoid any pedestrians and gets home in just 6 seconds. If you think this is crazy, time to get our boy drunk. I've set the drunkenness level to 50%, which means that half of his actions will be reversed. For example, turning left will instead be right, and vice versa. Honestly, I'm not sure what I expected, but our dude couldn't leave the parking lot. He would drive back and forth forever, and he didn't even hit a single pedestrian, so respect for that. However, when I decreased the drunkenness level to 25%, well, he still managed to hurt less pedestrians while drunk driving compared to when he was sober. So I'll let you figure out the moral of the story by yourself. Alright, while one dum-dum is already quite entertaining, the real fun begins when there are 4 idiots and they are fighting each other. I have trained 4 different agents to fight by smashing their cars into one another. Meet our competitors, Kabernot as the survivor. The survivor's main goal is, well, to survive. That's why Kabernot will actually be the only AI that is rewarded for existence instead of being punished for it. Hence, the role survivor. Second contestant is Red Nugget as the speedster. Red Nugget will be punished whenever he gets unalived, as well as every time he spams Nitro. That should incentivize more cautious and long uses of the boost, instead of spamming it multiple times per second, potentially resulting in some high-speed maneuvers from the speedster. Oh, and he will be punished for existence, duh. Third contender is Spartan King as the safety officer. This AI will not be punished for existing, but won't be rewarded for that either. However, it will be punished for stuff like touching walls, getting damage and dying, so it will have to make sure that safety is the #1 priority. Last and actually most probably least as well, we have Chickles as the martyr. Chickles, being the lab rat he is, will once again have to endure the worst conditions ever. He will be punished absolutely for everything: existing, taking damage, touching walls, using Nitro, and if he ever decides that it is too much, well, sucks to suck because there is another punishment for getting unalive. Anyways, if you're wondering who are the competitors, they are the legends who subscribe to my Patreon, but more on that later. First training attempt was a failure due to a small mistake that I made, which did not allow agents to turn left, so they were able to either go straight or turn right. Despite several hours being lost, just like an eco-activist when it sees a Renaissance painting, I saw huge potential in this fella. I quickly fixed the turning problem and set the agents train from scratch. I won't bore you with the training process, so after more than 30 hours of training, here is the final battle. First agent to get to 3 wins, wins. Pause the video right now and let me know in the comments below who you think is gonna win. And we already have our first collision between Chickles and Red Nugget. Oh wait, Red Nugget is getting a lot of damage and we have our first kill. Chickles is still in the game, but with very low HP. And Kabernot boosts himself into Spartan King, but ends up being tricked and eliminated. Let's take a second to analyze what just happened here. Kabernot rushed into Spartan King, hoping to strike him in the right side. However, Spartan King reversed in the last moment, which made Kabernot the victim, striking him in the left side. Damn, this is awesome. Now it's only these 2 left, but based on the amount of health left, I think I know who is the winner of the first round. Both agents are now being either extremely careful or extremely dumb, going back and forth, struggling to aim properly at each other. Thanks to all the punishments endured during the training, Chickles doesn't give a damn about how low his health is and is the one provoking the fight. Now he's got the chance? Ooh, that was a close one. And Spartan King gets the kill and the win in the first round. Round 2 starts with some weird activity. While Red Nugget is hesitantly analyzing the wall, Spartan King takes the initiative and slams his head right into it, losing about half of his health. Chickles tries to make use of the situation, misses the first swing, but comes back and finishes the job. At the same time, Cabernot emerges victorious from their fight with Red Nugget. It was an intense battle, but Cabernot managed to get a better position and won. Both are quite wounded, but Chickles doesn't care and is looking for a fight. Ooh, they barely missed each other. Both agents are trying to reverse so they can properly aim. A little bump here, but nothing significant. After some more bouncing back and forth, Chickles finally managed to land the final blow, scoring the first win. Round 3. Red Nugget looks mad for being eliminated and seeks revenge, smashing right into his oppressor from previous round. Cabernot was lucky to be facing Red Nugget and lost only half HP thanks to that. Cabernot attacks Spartan King, but what a move! Spartan King dodges the attack and destroys the opponent. Everybody is trying to recover a little bit now, slowly moving towards the center of the map, but it seems Red Nugget has got Chickles locked under his aim. Yep, a strong attack by Red Nugget once again. He barely lost any HP while halving the HP of two of his enemies. But I guess it's not a good idea to bully everyone and let them be afterwards. Spartan King slams into Red Nugget from behind, while Chickles is pushing from the front, resulting in a death sandwich for the speedster. Right after that, Chickles the Martyr gets rid of Spartan King and secures his second victory. Round 4 starts with another vengeful fight where Red Nugget actually manages to avenge himself by slaying Chickles. Left with low HP, soon after he is struck by a very precise attack from our survivor, leaving us only with Cabernot and Spartan King alive. That's when I have started to suspect some sort of alliance, because they simply would not fight each other. This literally went for several minutes when finally their weird and awkward dance finally seems to have come to an end, and Cabernot smashed himself into Spartan King in what was a really good attempt had he a little more health points. Second win for the Spartan King. It seems that the grudge was big, since in round 5, first thing Red Nugget does is slam into Chickles once again, while Spartan King performs a sick drift. But we're here to fight and not flex, so Chickles slams right into the safety officer's back, one-shotting the poor fella. While Cabernot is inspecting the squares on the wall, Red Nugget decides to finish up what he started and decimates Chickles by smashing into his left side. Cabernot was definitely following some strategy here, because immediately after Chickles got eliminated, he felt the smell of opportunity and smashed into Red Nugget, securing round number 5. Sixth round started with a brawl between the Martyr, Chickles, and Cabernot. Somehow Chickles managed to emerge victorious without a single scratch from this fight. That's quite impressive, but Spartan King won't let you enjoy it for too long, attacking Chickles from the right side. Whoa! Despite the first attack failing, Spartan King managed to turn Chickles around and smashed right into his rear bumper. Chickles is out, but our safety officer is really low HP. It seems he also realized it and tries to get away from Red Nugget. Red Nugget follows, takes aim, and finishes the job, securing his second win. Damn, this is a close tournament. In round 7, Cabernot got enraged, slamming into Red Nugget and almost one-shotting him. Only to smash into Spartan King right after that and eliminating him right off the bat. Red Nugget must have felt really lucky dodging that second attack, but not for too long, since Cabernot came back for its prey. It's just the two of them left now. While Cabernot was cleaning the battlefield, Chickles was chilling with full health in the back. After some back and forth, Chickles decides to show some dominance by eliminating Cabernot with his back and securing the third and last win. Congratulations to Chickles for winning this deathmatch! Looks like our lab rat can still show us some skills. This just proves yet again that there is no better teacher than a ton of punishment. Talking about winning, we recently had a Pogo drawing contest on our Discord server, and I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate all your creations. Thanks everyone for taking your time to participate, and congratulations to Preprigrain for winning the contest with this sexy Hitman Pogo. Huge thanks to Cabernot, Spartan King, and Red Nugget for supporting me on Patreon. Every subscriber adds experience to our progress bar based on his or her tier. Once the bar reaches its limit at 100, I will finally be able to quit my job and make YouTube full-time. So if you want to support me and my content, or want to be part of future projects and be thanked at the end of each video, consider subscribing to my Patreon page. Link in the description. Meanwhile, go watch this video where I trained 10,000 Persian warriors to fight against 300 AI Spartans. Bye!